Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of Rosemary Live. I can't believe I'm actually doing it. This is another podcast. And I think I mentioned this before, but the reason I'm doing this podcast is to help me and help you guys, my friends, level up, do something cool, shake ourselves up, get out of the comfort zone, and just try new things. I think it's really important. I've been around a while and you always got to try new things. And so I think every week I'm going to bring you you should totally binge these international Netflix shows. Hopefully you watched my last or listened to my last episode. Today's episode I'm very excited about, and you'll be coming along for the ride with me. And we may have some special guest stars. We'll see. Today's episode is about you should totally recreate a fond childhood sense memory. And I do not know what put this in my brain, but here goes. I was thinking about how cool it is when something, a smell, a song on the radio, something puts a memory in your brain that just makes you smile. You might be driving in your car. You might be daydreaming at work. Nobody ever does that. You might be just sitting there thinking, and something just suddenly washes over you. Like the other day, I smelled tobacco. I thought I smelled tobacco, and I just immediately thought about my grandpa. So those little things, it just makes you happy. So I thought, why not do that on purpose? And so here's what I did. I'm actually recreating one of my fondest childhood memories. I went to kindergarten. I'm an Army brat, full disclosure. Yay, Army brats. We're very resilient. We're easy to make friends. We're, I think, a lot of times extroverts because we were thrown into crazy situations, new situations. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But in kindergarten, in 5th grade, I grew up in Hawaii. And we were so lucky to be stationed there. Even though my dad was deployed, he was in Vietnam. He's a 2-time vet. But we got the chance to enjoy some of the really cool things about the island of Hawaii. And so we actually would go to a place called Hanauma Bay. And in my mind, in my childhood mind, in my memory, we would stop and get these little weird snacks. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool to see if I could actually find these snacks and buy them and taste them again, because they're sort of different and unique. And I'm just wondering if that would bring back that memory even stronger. And to get started, let's have a little music to set the mood. Also, the key idea with this project is engage all of your senses, or as many of your senses as you possibly can. So I also have this coconut scented SPF sunblock that I'm opening. Oh yeah, smells like island breezes full of coconut and sunscreen. I used to have a bottle of, I'm not kidding about this, but I had a bottle of real Hawaiian Tropic tanning oil with no SPF in it, because that's how we did it. That is the specific perfect smell, but we'll make do with what we have. This actually smells nice and coconutty. So we got music, we got the scents of the islands, we got coconut going, and now here are my taste element, my snacks. And the first one, you can hear the bag crinkling. These are called Li Hing Mui. So when I went looking for these, they're dried plums. When I went looking for these, I honestly had no idea what they were called. I didn't know what they were in the first place. All I knew is when I was little and we're having these snacks, it was some kind of a little shriveledy red thing, and it had like a powdery red coating on the outside of it. So imagine my shock and surprise to find out those were dried plums, and these are from Taiwan, but shipped from Hawaii. So I found these on Amazon and I couldn't believe it. So that'll be my first taste test, and I'm a little nervous, to be honest. The second one is a little more adventurous. No idea this was called Ika, and so in my brain, it was dried cuttlefish. So maybe it's the same thing or similar thing, but this says that it's Japanese style squid, so dried squid. And I remember it being very like sweet, salty, and stringy chewy, almost like you were chewing on shoelaces that have been dipped in salt and fish and sugar. And it sounds horrifying, but it's good, and I associate it with this really fun trip and this fond memory. So for me, in my mind, I'm thinking I will be chewing this and very excited. I remember they lasted a really long time. I don't even know if you're supposed to swallow them or spit them out, like, because I don't know if they ever really like are digestible. So I'll be opening that next. We'll see what happens. So come along with me. I have not tasted one of these red plum things since I was probably 5 years old, something like that. So let's just see what happens. I'm so scared. Also, it's morning and I just had coffee. I do not know if these go with coffee. All right, I pulled one out. It smells just, oh my gosh, even smelling it, that is so weird. All right, it's washing over me. The memory is washing over me. I'm actually tearing up a little bit. This is crazy. Okay, it smells like papery and powdery, and maybe, now that I know it's a dried plum, there might be a little back note of plum. All right, I'm popping it in my mouth. We'll see what happens. Oh, it's salty. Oh, there's a pit in the middle. Didn't remember that. Oh my gosh. Oh, dude. Okay, it's really weird. Super salty. Oh, hang on a second. Okay. I'm gonna have to spit out the pit, but I've eaten, you sort of chew off the outside of it. I am remembering, like, this is definitely the thing. It's a little bit, oh. Okay. I will not be enjoying the entire bag of these, but I have an idea for some. All right, Kieran, you want to try a fond childhood memory taste sensation?
I would love to.
Okay.
Straight from Hawaii.
Have at it. It's a dried plum.
Oh God.
There's a pit in there. Sorry, should have warned you.
No.
Can you describe it for the listeners?
It's kind of fruity. It's harder than I thought it would be. It's strong flavor. It's not bad. It's pretty good. Yeah. It smells like Hawaii. Tastes like Hawaii. Pretty good.
0 out of 10, do not recommend on the dried plums. Oh my gosh. And while we're rolling, let's move on. So now we've got dried cuttlefish, and I'm expecting this to be maybe a little more pleasant. I know it's salty and fishy and maybe a little bit sweet. And so let's see what happens here. This one has a handy dandy sort of Ziploc bag, so I can save some for later. Let's see, can I get this open? All right, for those of you who are listening, they look like shreds. It's like a light colored, and I sort of remember them being dark colored and almost like crispy-ish on the outside. These are lighter colored, and they almost look like longer pieces of tuna fish, maybe like shredded tuna fish. But you know, they're long enough that you could pull out almost like chewing tobacco, except fishy. So let's just see what happens. I'm gonna pop a wad of this in my mouth. Please forgive me. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes. I'm driving to Hanauma Bay. Oh my gosh. This is awesome. All right, so it's very fishy. It is dissolving though in my mouth, and I'm remembering it being a lot more stringy and hard to chew, like actually not something you would immediately swallow. These may be a slightly different kind, but it's the very same taste. It's a really interesting snack. I don't know. Actually, I should look up the nutrition content. It's 90 calories per ounce, so I don't know. I think there's sugar in there, and a lot of sodium. 7 grams of protein, people. So I don't know if this is something that you would enjoy, but my key point here is not to promote cuttlefish or dried plums. It's actually to get you to think about what is your fondest childhood memory and how can you recreate that in a sense experiment. So what could you smell? What snack could you eat? What music could you listen to that would bring back that fond memory? Right now, everybody's talking about how 2020 blows, and can't really argue with you there, but we need to stop talking about that and start making positive things happen. Go do something positive with your life instead of complaining about what's going on. I know a lot of people are going through sucky things, but the power is yours to go create something good and something fun and something cool. So let's level up. There's no pressure to go outrun everybody or outdo everyone creating things or, be the best at everything. Right now, a lot of people are just trying to get by. So what I'm trying to do with this podcast is just give you some little ideas to let light into your life and spread positivity. This is all about making your life just a little bit better. So if you've got ideas, if you've run the experiment, please comment, please subscribe, please get notified when I have a new podcast up. I will dearly love it. I will respond to any comments, and who knows what we'll be up to next week. So are you guys willing to try these childhood treats of mine?
I guess so.
Yeah. Okay, so start with the dried plums, Katie.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't smell bad.
It smells bad.
It just smells like dried fruit.
It smells like dirt. Okay.
I warn you, there's a pit inside. Just
pit?
FYI.
Do you eat around it or do I just...
You just put the whole thing in your mouth and then you sort of suck
I'm not
the
doing
outer
that.
parts
Okay.
off.
Why does it taste like that?
What do you think, Finn?
I don't know how to describe
You
it.
ate this?
Explain to our listeners what it
It's
tastes
like super sour, but...
And also it's like spicy, but like not spicy. Like it tastes like it should be spicy. Does that make sense?
Okay.
That's all I'm having.
Okay, now have some dried squid.
Did you actually ever eat this?
Totally, yes.
Oh.
And it was a fond childhood memory.
You gotta...
smells like-
Katie, you have to commit.
Take like a wad,
It's
like it's chewing tobacco.
Katie, you
or
have to
something.
commit.
Yeah.
It smells like
3, 2, 1.
why is it so hard?
You're supposed to just sort of chew on it.
It kind of tastes...
What does it taste like, Finn?
It kind of tastes like seaweed.
It tastes like the bottom of the ocean.
Is that a good thing or a bad
No,
thing?
it's not a good thing.
All right, so what's your rating of my childhood snacks?
This
Like
one's
-3.
better than that one.
No, this one's better, but they're both bad.
Why was yours crunchy? Mine was chewy.
It was
is this
like
supposed to be
I
crunchy?
couldn't even, like,
It's supposed to be chewy mostly, but yeah.
Like, I don't mind that.
All right, thank you guys.